Hey, it's baseball time again, and the following is a presentation. Wow, it just let me know that I was live on my own channel. Isn't that nice? And the following is a special presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions, past, present, and future. And boy, do I look bad today. I didn't brush my hair, and I really don't care. The creepy crud has worked its way through the house, and my wife is out of work for a second straight day with a cold, and it seemed to bounce back on to me. So I've taken some emergency and drinking some ginger's ale and had a later lunch than I normally would. And so we're a few minutes late starting this one, but I think we got a good one for you today between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals. You're going to see in a minute there are a whole mess of teams on this first Saturday in April that haven't even played yet. And the season started Monday. But as I said in yesterday's game, a massive snowstorm rolled through the Northeast, and then it must have rained for days and days and days. And so we've now reached the fifth day of the season, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams have yet to play. In fact, the entire American League East has played a whopping 2 games. Detroit and Milwaukee have played 1, and Baltimore and Toronto have played 1. That's it. Meanwhile, teams like the Cubs have already got 3 in. Okay, let's go through Friday night's baseball action for you. In the American, day games, it doesn't really matter. Toronto won or lost their opener. Milwaukee won their season opener in Toronto 7-5. Pete Vukovich gets the win. He goes to 1-0. Mark Bombeck takes the loss. He's 0-1. Gorman Thomas, 2 for 3 with 2 home runs on their opening day with 2 RBI. The Cubs beat the Mets 4-3. Ferguson Jenkins gets his first win of the year. Mike Scott, yep, he would be the one that would later dominate for Houston. Didn't dominate so much for the Mets. Not Maury Wills. His son, Bump, 3 for 5 with a double and a stolen base. The Reds go to 2-1. They beat San Francisco 8-5. Jim Kern gets his first win of the year. Brining, who pitched yesterday actually on this channel, gets the loss. He's 0-1. Paul Householder, 2 for 3 with his first home run and 3 RBI. The Phils dropped their second game of the year. Montreal wins their opener 5-2. Steve Rogers gets the win. Larry Christensen gets the loss. Chris Spire, 2 for 4 with a home run, his first. Atlanta won't start the year 13-0, but they are 2-1, and they just knocked a stuffing out of the Houston Astros, 22-4. Preston Hanna gets the win. Don Sutton the loss. And Bob Horner goes 4 for 6, 2 home runs, now is 3 on the year, and a 6 RBI. Detroit won their opener. They beat Kansas City 4-3 at Royal Stadium. Jack Morris gets the win. Dan Quisenberry gets the loss. Tom Brookins, 1 for 3, a triple and a walk. The Minnesota Twins are playing in a nice dome. They can do whatever they want, including win. They got their first of the year on Friday night, 4-3. Williams with a win, Moreno with a loss, and Gary Ward, 2 for 4 with his first home run and a double. On the West Coast, Oakland 4, Seattle 1. That's Seattle's first loss of the year. Oakland's 2-2. Steve McCanny 1-0. Gaylord Perry 0-1. Richie Zisk with his first homer of the year for the Mariners. And last but not least, Ted Power fans, avert your eyes. Los Angeles beat San Diego 4-3, and 10 Power with a win. Chiffer with the loss. Pedro Guerrero 2 for 3 with his first home run and 2 RBIs. And so we're about to see Pittsburgh and the Cardinals as I take you into the stats and stories. Here are the other games on the card. Boston and Baltimore will finally get their season underway in their 7 doubleheader. Texas and Cleveland, San Francisco and Cincinnati. For the Pirates, this is their opener, believe it or not. So if you were looking for that, I know there's a few Pirates fans here. Congratulations, it's your day. Mets and Cubs, Montreal, Philadelphia, Houston, Atlanta, Detroit, Kansas City, San Diego, and Los Angeles. So for Texas, it's their opener. For Cleveland, it's their opener. For the Red Sox, it's their opener. And today's opening day for Pittsburgh as well. The White Sox and Yankees would have to wait till Sunday. We'll have that doubleheader in full for you on Friday. And who am I missing here? I think that's about it. So let's get ready to place. Oh, yeah. And the Cardinals hired a general manager today on this real day, April 10th. Joe McDonald was elevated to become the GM of the St. Louis Cardinals. So are you ready? Let's play some baseball. Get the lineups together for you. Steve Mura pitches for the Cardinals, 2-1 on the young year, and Pittsburgh will pitch Rick Rhoden. And it's a beautiful day in St. Louis, 71 degrees, winds barely blowing out to right at 2 miles an hour. And so let me get the right windows open for me to see. And so the Pirates, like I said, they haven't played. They're facing Steve Mura, 12-11 on the year, his first start, 4.05 ERA, 184 in the third innings, 196 hits, 16 home runs, 80 walks, and 84 strikeouts. And this is the lineup he'll be facing. Omar Moreno. Can't hit anyway, but he can bunt and he can steal. And he's leading off for Pittsburgh in center field. Mike Easler is the left fielder. He'll bat second for the Pirates. Dave Parker, the Cobra. Wow, man, there are 4 left-handed hitters for Pittsburgh to start this game. Is the right fielder. He will bat third. Jason Thompson, the big power threat for the Pirates, will play first in cleanup. Bill Manlock, the third baseman, bats fifth. Tony Pena will catch and bat sixth. Johnny Ray, the second baseman, will bat seventh. Dale Bear is the shortstop. Yep, that's Yogi's kid. He'll bat eighth. And Rick Rhoden, one of the great great golfers of all time, will pitch and bat ninth. Yeah, the hockey rinks I'm sure don't help though. It depends on which one you like better. We talked a bit about this the other day, Dave, about if you're used to the cards and dice stuff or that. And so you're gonna tend to like games that you've been introduced to first. And there's a lot to like about OOTP. I just prefer this a lot more. Defensively for the Cardinals, it is Lonnie Smith and lefties, a 4 and a 6. It's an interesting shot that I actually did the cards on top of today. A rare morning shot of St. Louis for a ball game. Danny Green is in center field. He's a 3 and a 5, and Dane Ord, I assume, is that particular Ord. He is a 6, but doesn't have a very good arm in right field. Remember, we play on an artificial surface here in St. Louis. Steve Braun is a third baseman. He's not very good. He's a 2. Ozzie Smith is very good. The Wizard is a 10 at short. Tommy Herr is at second, and Keith Hernandez, all-world first baseman, at first. He's a 10. Darrell Porter behind the plate. Steve Mura didn't last very long in this game. They're going to play in for the bunt. And with all that, we are underway in St. Louis. 71 degrees, a crowd of 40,000 on hand. Cardinals at 2-1. Pittsburgh, Happy New Year. Moreno, ground ball up the middle. Ozzie over to Hernandez, 1 out. How you doing, Beatles? I thought of you immediately when I saw this was the Pittsburgh seasonal opener. It must have just monsooned all week on the East Coast. I can't imagine today if we got through the first week of the season and 6 teams hadn't played yet. Here's Easler, Mike at 276, 15 home runs and 58 RBI on the real year. Mura delivers, and there's a fly ball to right center. Green is there, 2 out. So a good start for Mura. The Cobra, Dave Parker, would get resurrected in Cincinnati and later Oakland as a designated hitter. This is the end of the We Are Family era. 270, only 6 home runs and 29 RBI. Mura delivers, and there's a liner up the middle. That's a base hit. Parker's going for 2, and he's got it. So a double for Parker, and that's the first Pirate base runner of the year. Jason Thompson had the unfortunate fortune of trying to replace Willie Stargell at the plate. And in 1982, he kind of did. 284, 31 homers, led the team in 101 RBI. He walked 101 times and struck out 107. So 2 out, Parker on second. Top the first here, opening day for the home side of the St. Louis schedule. And this is Pittsburgh's first game. Here delivers. Thompson draws a walk. And so a 3-2 pitch was just a bit outside. Madlock coming up. Bill is at 319, or hit 319 in 1982. 19 home runs and 95 RBI. One of the reasons why the Pirates are one of 4 teams that can win the National League East. There's only 4 teams in all the National League that really have no shot at the playoffs. St. Louis won the division, I believe, with 92 wins. Pittsburgh finished, I believe, at 500, 81 and 81. It can happen. Or 90 wins. A 90-win team can win the division, and why not? Here it delivers, gets away from Porter. Parker and Thompson move up. That's a pass ball on Darrell. So runners on second and third now. 2 out in a 2-1 count to Madlock. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left. Lonnie Smith goes back and makes the catch against the warning track. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. We play a half inning here in St. Louis. Pittsburgh nothing. St. Louis coming up. And so for the Cardinals, we'll read the real stats first time through, and then the replay stats the second. Rick Rhoden, who used to pitch for the Dodgers, making his first start of the year. 11 and 14 for the Pirates, 4.14 ERA. 230 in the third innings, 239 hits, 14 home runs allowed. Don't worry, St. Louis only hit 60 as a team. 70 walks and 128 strikeouts. And here's the lineup that he'll face. Lonnie Smith will lead off and play left field. Tommy Herr, the second baseman, will bat second. Then it's left-handers delight. Keith Hernandez will bat third and play first. Darrell Porter, the catcher, will bat fourth. Org will bat fifth and play right. Steve Braun, the third baseman, bat sixth. Danny Green, the center fielder, bats seventh. Ozzie Smith will hit eighth. And Steve Murrah, who threw 18 pitches in the first, will bat ninth. Defensively for the Pirates, it's Mike Easler. He's a 5-4 in left. Omar Moreno, a 6-6 in center. And Dave Parker, a 5-6 in right. He used to have a cannon of an arm, but 1979 was a few years ago. Bill Madlock's at third. He's not the best defender in the world, but you can't see that at the moment because Rick Rhoden's stats are in the way. Dale Bear is a 7 at short. Johnny Ray's a 7 at second. Jason Thompson's a 7 at first. And Tony Pena, who will catch with his legs split, is a 9 range and a 7 arm. And that's going to be mighty important, that arm, as St. Louis was fast. They stole 200 bases in 1982. Lonnie Smith on the real year, 307, 8 homers and 69 RBI. They expect the bunt. We're not going to do it. Fly ball to right. Parker comes in, 1 out. Tommy Herr, his real number is 266, no homers and 36 RBI. They expect him to bunt. Never bunt when they expect you to. Pitch from Rhoden, ball 4. So Herr is on, but Rhoden's holding him on, and so it's now off to the races at a 52% chance. They play back for Keith Hernandez at 299, 7 home runs and 94 RBI, and 100 walks from Mr. Hernandez. Rhoden delivers, and Keith hits this one to right. Parker turns and watches it go. And so I lied about the home run part. That's a 2-run shot down the line and right, and it's 2-0 St. Louis. Didn't expect that. Hernandez just hooked it right down the line. And so the Cardinals go up 2-0. So the hometown faithful are pretty happy about that as Darrell Porter steps up. Just to tell you just how little the Cardinals hit home runs as a team. Darrell Porter was second with 12. George Hendrick. You might remember George. He played without a logo on his helmet. He led the team with 19 home runs. 231 on the real year, 12 homers and 48 RBI. Oregon on deck. 1 out. Roden. Ground ball. Berra. Over to Thompson. For the out. So not the starter our Pirate fans want to see. How you doing? Pittsburgh's first game of the year, Mark. There was a major winter storm that rolled through that Monday and Tuesday of the first week of the 82 season. And so by the time we get to Saturday, and this game is being played Saturday, April 10th, 1982, 6 teams had yet to play a game, including 4 in the American League East. And 3 teams would go into Sunday without playing a game. Texas, Chicago, that being the White Sox, and the Yankees. It was Dane Org at 294, no home runs and 34 RBI. So it's a weird and wacky start to the year. Pitch to Org is a fly ball to right center. Moreno was there, and that will retire the side. 2 runs on the home run by Keith Hernandez. 1 hit, no errors. After 1, it's the Cardinals 2, the Pirates nothing. And how you doing, Sports Time Machine? He's got some bowling coming up this week. The Utah Bowling Tour. It'll be Tony Pena, Johnny Ray, and Dale Berra for the Pirates here in the second. Tony, a 296 hitter at 82 with 11 home runs and 63 RBI. One of the best minds in all of baseball. Mira delivers to start the second. Fly ball to left center. Back goes Danny Green, and that's high off the wall. And Pena starts his 1982 with a double. And so the Pirates have 2 hits now, and here comes Johnny Ray. What a terrible picture of Johnny Ray. Unless Johnny likes some herb, and then that's just a fine picture of Johnny Ray. Johnny, 281 on the year. 7 home runs and 63 RBI. Mura delivers, and Ray grounds out 1 to Smith. Over to Hernandez, and 10-10 always wins. Pena will hold at second, 1 out. And that brings up Dale Berra, 263, 10 home runs and 61 RBI. Struck out 83 times. Mira's pitch popped up, right side. Calls off Hernandez, and there's 2 out. So that brings up Rick Roden, who could hit. 265, 3 home runs and 12 RBI. And as I said, a scratch golfer. Pitch, and there's a ground ball base hit right side. Pena will score. Ord will throw it back in, and Roden's on with a single. And so right on cue, it's 2-1 St. Louis. So 3 hits for the Pirates. And so Mura threw 9 batters. 31 pitches isn't a problem, but anything in 2/3 isn't very good. 3 hits, a run, it was earned. He walked 1 and hasn't struck out anybody. Moreno grounded out to Ozzie Smith to start the game. Mura's pitch, got him. Swung on a bad 3-2 pitch, a run on 2 hits and no errors, and after an inning and a half, St. Louis 2, Pittsburgh 1. And Sports Time Machine says, I'm working on the Ford Open from start to finish. Now that's a tournament. Oh, that sounds cool. It'll be Steve Braun, Green, and Ozzie Smith due up for the Cardinals here in the second. Braun, not the regular third baseman for the Cardinals, but I'm striking a blank on who that would be. 274 in limited action, no home runs and 4 RBI. Roden threw 25 pitches in the first, but is on top 2-1. And the pitch from Roden is a little looper in the right field that Parker gets on a hop, and Braun's on with a single. And unlike most of these Cardinal runners, Braun isn't going anywhere. He has an 8% chance of stealing second. It's David Green, not Danny Green. And David was a part-time player off the bench for St. Louis. Held the seat warm for Willie McGee, who would have a magnificent 1982, and one of the big reasons why the Cardinals won that World Series. 283, 2 homers and 23 RBI on his dance card. And the pitch from Roden. Got him on a 1-2 pitch just below the belt. So that's the first strikeout for Roden. And now I'll bring up Ozzie Smith. 248. But the Wizard was not here for his bat. 2 home runs and 43 RBI. He did have 25 stolen bases and drew 68 walks. Runner on first, Roden delivers, and Ozzie will line that one foul. Right field line, third first base side, and it looks like I put those in the right spot. Probably was Obertfeld. I bet you're right. As I said, everyone's kind of messed up. The Cardinals started in Houston, so they got their games in and took 2 out of 3 at the Astrodome. 0-2 pitch to Ozzie is popped up to center. Moreno will have it, and there's 2 away. In fact, Moreno had to dive for it, and it's a great play. I undersold that to begin with. Here's Steve Mura. He's not a great hitter. 0-57 with 3 RBI. 2 out. Roden delivers, and Mura hits that one up the middle, and that's a base hit. So Braun will round second and hold. And that brings up Lonnie Smith. He's 0 for 1. On the year, Lonnie's at 167. 2 for 12 with a double. Roden, 40 pitches his first time through, an inning and 2/3. 3 hits, the home run to Hernandez, and 2 runs. Both earned. He delivers, and Lonnie strikes out. He swung on and missed on an 0-2. So that's the second strikeout for Roden. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. After 2, it's the Cardinals 2, the Pirates 1. So Easler, Parker, and Thompson for Pittsburgh. Mike is 0 for 1. Mura delivers, and that's ball 4. So Easler went high and inside for ball 4 on the full count, and here comes Parker. Dave doubled to start his season. So not a pitching duel here on opening day. Mura, of course, being the 4th starter for the Cardinals out of the gate. In Pittsburgh, everyone's ready to go. In fact, the Pirates won this game, and John Candelaria came out of the pen for the save. His lone relief appearance of the year. Pitch from Mura. Parker. Fly ball right center. Green has it for the out. So 1 out for Jason Thompson, who walked his first time up. Mura delivers, and Thompson hits this one to right. Back goes Org to the track. He's got it. 2 out. Here's Bill Manlock 0 for 1. Bill was such a good hitter. You see him here with the Cubs. Won a batting title, at least one, but played on a lot of teams. Played for the Giants for a while as well. Pitch from Mura. Manlock fly ball to right. Made good contact, but that'll stay in the yard. Ork has it. And the Pirates go down in the second. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After 2.5, 2-1 St. Louis. So Roden will face Hernandez, and Porter here in the third. Tommy walked and scored in the first. And Pittsburgh's playing, but Whitey's going to say, nope, not doing it. So Roden, I forgot to tell you, has him walking now, 2 strikeouts on the day. And that time he gets her to chase on the full count, strike 3. So 3 for Roden. And that brings up Hernandez, who only hit 7 home runs on the real year. Oh, I forgot to give you her seasonal numbers. Hernandez with that home run now at 154, a homer and 2 RBI. Roden's pitch, and he got Hernandez to watch a curveball for strike 3 on a 1-2 count. So Roden has settled in after that rough first. And here's Darrell Porter. He's 0 for 1. Org on deck. Roden, ball 4. And so Porter watches a 3-1 pitch go low, and that's the second walk for Roden. Porter, for a catcher, is great speed. He's a 5 overall, but he's not going to take a base on you. Dane is 0 for 1. Brother Garth, of course, is with the Blue Jays. On the year, Dane is now 1 for 10. That's 100 with 2 RBI. Pena goes out to have a few words with Roden. And the pitch is a liner into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Porter will hold at second with 2 out. You don't want to be the third out of an inning. And so Orr gets a single, and that's the 4th Cardinal hit. Here's Steve Braun, 1 for 6 on the year with a single. And 1 for 1 today. And he's got Porter on second, Orr on first, and Roden, who doesn't seem like Rick Roden, on the mound. The pitch, Braun grounds out one to Barrett short. Long throw over to Thompson at first, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, and no errors. After 3, St. Louis 2, Pittsburgh 1. And it'll be Pena, Ray, and Berra due up for the Pirates. Oh, I like that, Mark Forsberg. Dave Parker's quote, "When the leaves turn brown, I will be wearing the batting crown." There was a lot of people with a healthy dose of self-confidence on those Pirates team in the late 70s, and Stargell's the one that kind of held it all together. I don't think they were still showing stars on the helmets, or in the batting, on the regular hats at that point. They were wearing the stovepipe hats with the stripes, and their road jerseys in 1982 were yellow. Cardinals in their home white pullovers, of course, no button-up, with the red hat and the interlocking STL. So Tony Pena doubled his first time up, 1 for 1. Mira delivers, and there's a liner that's going to leap over top. Wow, I take that back. Ozzie Smith should have made that play. He dove and it got right through, and so Smith gets his first run burn of the year, and Pena's 2 for 2. He's on with a single. Brings up Johnny Ray, who's 0 for 1. Pitch from Mira, and Johnny Ray is on with a base hit. Punches that one in between Smith and Braun. And so the Pirates have 5 hits off of Mira, and here is Dale Berra, 0 for 1. The pitch, got him. 2-2 in at the belt, and Berra just kind of shakes his head. That's the second from Mira. Cardinals will play for the bunt, even though Roden can hit. He singled and drove in the lone Pirate run in the second. Mira delivers, and Roden hits a fly ball on the left. Smith in the corner, and Lonnie has it. And the throw to third keeps Pena at second. So it was a foul ball. Not a lot of room right down the line there in St. Louis, even though this is one of those cookie cutters. And I'll bring up Omar Moreno, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Through 3 2/3 innings and 18 batters, Mira's allowed 5 hits. A run it was earned, he has walked 2 and struck out 2, and one of them being Omar Moreno. Pena on second, Ray on first. Here's the pitch, ground ball to Ozzie. Over to Hernandez. Moreno's got legs, and they got him on a bang-bang play. So the Pirates strand 2. They've stranded 6 overall. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. After 3.5, Cardinals 2, Pirates 1. That brings up David Green, Ozzie Smith, and Steve Mira here in the bottom of the 4th to face Rick Roden. Green is 2 for 10 on the year with a strikeout. Struck out his first time up today. Pitch from Roden, ground ball to Berra. Over to Thompson for the out. 1 out. Ozzie Smith, 0 for 1. Flew out to left center his first time up. They're playing in. Ozzie's not going to bunt. Roden delivers. Ground ball to Thompson. He goes to the bag himself for the out. Ozzie's fast, but he's not that fast. And so there's 2 away. For Mira, who has singled his first time up. And I really wish there was a way to topple that. Anyway, pitch to Mira is a hard bounder to Bear, a long throw to Thompson, and the Pirates get the Cardinals in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. We played 4 at St. Louis on opening day here. 73 degrees, not a breath of wind. It's the Cardinals 2, the Pirates 1. It will be Easler, Parker, and Thompson for Pittsburgh here in the 5th. Mike is 0 for 1 with a walk. Flew out to center in the 1st. Pitch from Mira. And he got him. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. So that's 3 for Mira on the day. Interesting to see a pitcher of the pitcher in a batting helmet. I also think he pitched for the Cubs for a while, too. Here's Dave Parker, 1 for 2 with a double. Mira delivers, and there's a high fly ball to right, but Borg will track it down in play. And there's 2 out. Jason Thompson over 1 with a walk. Mira can go about 115. I would imagine they were off last night. They did not play. That if he got 6, maybe 7, Whitey Herzog would be thrilled to pieces. Pitch to Thompson. Fly ball to center. Green moves over a step to his left and makes the catch. Halfway home, no runs, no hits, no errors. It's the Cardinals 2, the Pirates 1. This is Major League 82 replay on Retro Sports Network. So it'll be Lonnie Smith, the top of the lineup actually for St. Louis. Lonnie Smith, Tommy Hearn, Keith Hernandez. Roden threw 4 innings and 18 batters, 73 pitches, 4 hits. A home run allowed. 2 runs, both earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 4, including Lonnie Smith once. So again, the Pirates play bunt. The Cardinals aren't going to do it. And he draws a walk. 3-1 was just off the ground. Now Lonnie is being held on, so they'll tease. Let's see what they do. Tommy Hare at the plate. Tommy is walked and struck out and scored. Scored on the Hernandez home run in the 1st. Roden's pitch, and that gets away from Pena. So a wild pitch. Lonnie's going for the 2nd, and he's got it. He's got the base stolen. I don't know why it was showing me an out. And so Pena just never threw it. Tony ate the ball. And so Smith is on 2nd on a wild pitch. And so the Cardinals have another runner in scoring position. And a 1-2 count to Tommy Hearn. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Ray. Smith goes to 3rd over to Thompson for the out at 1st. And so 1 out for Keith Hernandez. Pirates play it regular. Hernandez homered in the 1st. And struck out in the 3rd. Roden will just tell Hernandez to go to first base. And so that's the 4th walk for Roden. And so it's up to Darryl Porter, who was 0 for 1 with a walk. Porter grounded to Barrett in the 1st. So it's Lonnie Smith on 3rd, Hernandez on 1st, and Porter at the plate. Roden delivers, and that gets away from Pena. Lonnie Smith will score. Hernandez goes to 2nd on the wild pitch. And it's 3-1 St. Louis. And just the mere threat of St. Louis's speed has rattled Rick Roden. 2 wild pitches in this inning. And because of that, a run scores. So 3-1 the count to Porter. 98 pitches for Roden. And we only have 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to right center field. Moreno tracks it down. Hernandez will tag. Moreno has to make a diving stop. The throw into Madlock is not in time. So a diving stop near the warning track, and Hernandez moves to 3rd. So 2 out for Dane Org, who's 1 for 2. Roden delivers, and there's a base hit in the right center field. Hernandez will score. Org will hold it first. And the Cardinals have really gotten to Rick Rhoden here in the fifth. Here's Braun. Steve is 1 for 2 with a single. Rhoden's pitch. Ball 4. I'm stunned the computer hasn't yanked him. David Green is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Runners on first and second, 2 out. Pena goes out to talk to Rhoden. And the pitch to Green is a ground ball to short. There, a long throw across to Thompson to retire the side. But not before the Cardinals get 2 runs on a hit and a whole lot of walks. No errors. After 5, it's the Cardinals 4, the Pirates 1. So Madlock, Pena, and Ray to face Mura, who does not have the fatigue warning yet. 90 pitches through 5. Bill is 0 for 2. And he's not 0 for 2 anymore. He puts that one in the center field. Green will play that off the wall, and Madlock has himself a double. And so the Pirates respond with immediate offense. And here's Tony Pena. He's got a single and a double. It's scored the lone, the Pirate run in the second. Pitch to Tony. Fly ball right field, opposite field. Work has it. Madlock will tag and go to third to throw in. Gets away from Braun. And Madlock is safe, and the run scored. So Orgs, that's new in the game this year, you can score on a throwing error. And so the throw to Braun hit that sliding pit and kind of bounced over his glove. But the throw by Org was bad, and Madlock walked home. Let's watch it again. The out. And Madlock went there, and you can see that Braun just kind of bobbled the throw, and what you didn't see was Madlock just scoring. So it's 4-2. So all that work the Cardinals did is in jeopardy here, 1 out in the 6th. Well, there's nobody on. Johnny Ray single. He's 1 for 2. Pitch from Mura. Ground ball to Braun at third. Over to Hernandez for the out. So first error for the Cardinals today. 2 out for Dale Berra, who's 0 for 2. The pitch. Berra, shallow center. Green is there, and that does retire the side. After 5.5, one run, a hit, and 1 error, the Pirates close the gap. It's now 4-2 St. Louis. As they try to chase my drink. It's little touches like that that make Action PC Baseball an automatic buy. So Ozzie Smith, Mr. Mura, and then Lonnie Smith here for the Cardinals 6. Ozzie is 0 for 2. He's not bunting. Fly ball to center. Moreno, 1 out. And so Rhoden, I don't know if you'll let him pitch to Mura or not. Steve is 1 for 2. Mura stays in the game, hits a ground ball up the middle. Ray with a nice stop over to Thompson for the 2nd out. And so Don Robinson will pitch. And that's it for Rhoden. Robinson, 15-13 on the real season, a 4.28 ERA. Nice hair. 227 innings, 213 hits allowed, including 26 home runs. 103 walks, that's a lot of walks, and 165 strikeouts. The numbers for Rhoden: 5 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned. The home run to Hernandez. He walked 5 and struck out 4. One of those walks was intentional. So here's Lonnie Smith. 0 for 2 is walked and struck out. 2 out. Robinson delivers, and he got him. He looked at a fastball for strike 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 6, Mura is looking strong. St. Louis 4, Pittsburgh 2. And he will probably, well, Robinson can hit. Look at that. Golly gee. 282, 2 homers and 16 RBI. So I wonder what Chuck Tanner will do. He's going to let him hit. Ground ball to her. Nice stop over to Hernandez for the out. How you doing, Tribe fan? Nice to have you with us. 4-2 St. Louis as we start the 7th inning. Omar Moreno's 0 for 3 with a strikeout through 27 batters. Steve Mura, 6 in the 3rd inning, 6 hits allowed, 2 runs, but only 1 earned. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Moreno, fly ball to center. Back goes Green, and there's the 2nd out. So Steve Mura, if he can get Mike Easler, has done yeoman's work here. Easler 0 for 2. He has walked and struck out. And he hits a high fly ball to right. Back goes Orr to the track, and it's gone. So Mike Easler homers, and it's 4-3. And so that brings up Dave Parker, 1 for 3 with a double. And so that makes the locals nervous. Parker slashes one down the line and right. Ward will hold him to a single. And that's it for Mura. And so a little early for Suter. And so Doug Bear will come in. And Doug is not bad a pitch yet. So Bear will finish the 7th. 4-3 to score now. Jason Thompson is the best Pirate offensive threat. 0 for 2 today with a walk. But he had 31 home runs on the year. Parker is on first. He's a tying run. Pitch from Bear. Got him! And I didn't give you Bear's numbers. Oh well. He swung at a 2-2 pitch and Bear got the strikeout. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. Time to stretch in St. Louis. There's a bunch of horses running around the warning track. It's the Cardinals 4, the Pirates 3. How you doing, Ken Castro? Good to have you with us. The Beatles eternally. And Tribe fan, I think I said hi to you already. Our next scheduled baseball game is Friday afternoon. The White Sox and the Yankees season opener and the White Sox season opener. Doubleheader action for you Friday on Retro Sports Network. Tom Herr. Tommy is 0 for 2. He has scored a run. He has walked and struck out. Again, Robinson struck out Lonnie Smith to end the 6th. And Herr grounds one up the middle for a base hit. Going for 2. Throwing for Moreno is not in time. And so again for the Cardinals, speed kills. That gets on that artificial surface and just kind of bounces around out there, and Herr took advantage of it. So here's Keith Hernandez. His 2-run homer in the first surprised the daylights out of me. 1 for 2. He has scored twice. He has struck out and walked as well. Robinson will give Hernandez first base. So that's Hernandez's 2nd intentional walk, and again, they're going to face Darryl Porter. Darryl is 0 for 2. He hits righties at 238 clip. That's Porter. 0 for 2 with a walk. Against lefties, Robinson was 239 against the National League. And the pitch to Porter is a ground ball base or to Madlock at 3rd to Ray for 1. They could go around the horn to Thompson. Yes, they got it. I thought they had gotten past Madlock. Nope, Madlock with the snag. Score at 5-4 on the fielder's choice. You're scoring at home, but why would you? This isn't a real game. And so, runner on 3rd is Herr, 2 out for Ord, who is 2 for 3. He has singled twice and driven in a run. 4-3 Cardinals, bottom of the 7th. It's from Robinson, ball 4. So that brings up Steve Braun. We're going to look. And we got 4 catchers on the roster. That's pretty good. Let's see, who can hit? Let's see, Braun 279 against righties. We're going to go with Julio Gonzalez, and I would be stunned to pieces if that was Julio Gonzalez. Well, that is Julio Gonzalez, but that's not the one that's at the plate. He hit 241 on the real year with a homer and 7 RBI. Robinson delivers. Gonzalez, ground ball to Madlock. Long throw over the first, and it's not in time. So Tiny Hurst scores, and it's 5-3 St. Louis. So Oregon second, Gonzalez on first, and David Green at the plate. He's 0 for 3. Ozzie Smith on deck. The pitch from Robinson, got him. He looked at strike 3 on a 1-2 count. The Cardinals get an insurance run on 2 hits and no errors, and after 7 in St. Louis 5, Pittsburgh 3. And so it's not over, Phil. Yep. It's, if you were wondering, oops, you didn't need to whatever message you retracted, you didn't need to. Maybe not the best defensive replacement, but as Triumph Fan says, it's AstroTurf, concrete with a small amount of padding. Philadelphia was the worst one. The vet was awful. I mean, that was pretty much painted concrete. You can see in this picture, especially towards the front between the pitcher's mound and home plate, the markings for the football Cardinals. But this part, to me anyway, always seemed to be better maintained than some of the others. And if you look to the right, by the first base coaching bag, you see where the split is in the AstroTurf? Well, that is the automatic tarp machine that was there, and I would have sworn they would have had it out by the time this picture was taken. That rolled over Vince Coleman and broke his leg in the '85 National League Championship Series. Speaking of this picture, I want to say 87, because the Pirate logo in left center is different. Yeah, I want to say this shot was taken in 87. Anywho, Bill Madlock, Tony Pena, and Johnny Ray. Bill is 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Oh, I didn't give you Doug Bear's numbers. 5 and 3 on the real year. 8 saves, 2.55 ERA. 91 in the 2/3 innings, 69 hits, 7 home runs allowed, 36 walks, and 68 strikeouts. Pitch to Madlock, got him. 1-2 pitch, and the breaking ball was right down Broadway, and Bear has 2 strikeouts. There's Tony Pena, 2 for 3, single, double, run scored. Bear delivers, and there's a fly ball to left. Lonnie Smith in the corner of left center makes it. Johnny Ray, 1 for 3. Johnny's got a single. 2 out, top of the 8th. 5-3 Cardinals. Pittsburgh 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and 7 stranded so far. For St. Louis, 5 runs, 7 hits, and an error, and they've stranded 8. Pitch to Ray from Bear. Fly ball to right. Ord comes in, and that does retire the side. Rod Scurry's coming in to pitch for the Pirates. 7.5 in the books here on opening day in St. Louis. Cardinals 5. Pirates 3. And so the Wizards 0 for 3. Scurry, what a year he had out of the pen. 4 and 5. Forget the record. Look at that ERA. 174 and 14 saves. In 103 and 2/3 innings. He only allowed 79 hits and 3 home runs. But he walked 64. So that whip is 1.379. But he did strike out 94. Pitch to Ozzie. Fly ball to center. Moreno has it, 1 out. Doug Bear is not batting. George Hendrick will. Trying to find a picture with Hendrick with actually a logo on his hat. George is 0 for 4 on the year. He struck out twice. On the real season, 282, 19 home runs, and that led the team, boys and girls, with 104 RBI. 5-3 St. Louis, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Pitch from Scurry. Ground ball to third. Madlock misplayed it. It got underneath Madlock's glove, and Hendrick is safe at first. So that brings up Lonnie Smith, who's 0 for 3. He has struck out twice, walked once, and scored. Scurry delivers, and Lonnie Smith goes down again. He swung on a 2-2 changeup and missed. So Scurry has a strikeout. 2 out for Tommy Herr. Has walked and doubled, 1 for 3, and scored twice. Pitch from Scurry, and he gets hurt to look at one on a 3-2 pitch. And so after 8, you know who's coming in, Bruce Sutter. St. Louis holding on to a 5-3 lead on opening day. So we got ourselves a double switch. George Hendrick comes in the game, stays in the game, and he'll bat 9th. And if Bruce Sutter messes this one up, he will bat 5th. So Bruce Sutter has a game already. He is 1 save on a year, 9-8 with 36 saves and a 2.90 ERA. You know, I've owned this game for 6 or 7 years and just realized I could do this with a pitcher. So in his lone appearance of the year, he threw 2 innings of scoreless ball against the Astros and didn't strike anybody out, allowed 1 hit. So it'll be Berra, a pinch hitter, and Moreno, maybe. Berra's 0 for 3 with the strikeout. Sutter, 61 strikeouts on the real year and 102 in the 3rd inning. The pitch, there's a fly ball to right center. Green, 1 out. Hendrick is a 5 range and a 6 arm. And Rod Scurry, even though he can hit, shouldn't be hitting. Yep. And there you go, Beatles. It wouldn't be an opening day game for the Pirates without Willie Stargell. Wilbur, 233, 3 homers and 17 RBI. Draws a big hand and hits a high fly ball to center. Green will track that down just before the track, and that's the 2nd out. So the Pirates are down to their last chance, and Omar Moreno was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Pitch from Sutter, up the middle. Ozzie Smith over to Keith Hernandez, and that's the ball game. The Cardinals will win this one 5-3. And so let's go through the recap for you. 5 runs, 7 hits, and an error for St. Louis. 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for Pittsburgh. Keith Hernandez with a 2-run homer in the first gave the Cardinals a 2-0 lead. In the top of the second, Pittsburgh cut it to 2-1 on a road and a single to score Tony Pena. And then the Cardinals just used their speed. They sent 7 batters to the plate in the 5th on a hit and 3 walks. Lonnie Smith scored on a wild pitch to make it 3-1. Then Dane Org singled home a run to make it 4-1. Pittsburgh got within 1. First, a sac fly by Tony Pena in the 6th, and then a Mike Easler solo shot in the 7th made it 4-3. But Julio Gonzalez, as a pinch hitter, scored Tommy Herr in the bottom of the 7th to make it 5-3 St. Louis. Steve Muir gets the win. 6 2/3 innings, 2 earned runs, 8 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. He's 1-0. Bruce Sutter got a clean 9th for a 2nd save. Rick Rhoden, 5 2/3 innings, and took the loss. 4 earned runs, 5 hits, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He goes to 0-1 on the year. 3:27 to play it. Our HockeyTournaments.com player of the game goes to Keith Hernandez, who hit that 2-run homer in the first inning. And because you've been waiting with bated breath, quickly the rest of the day in baseball. I thank you. Chicken on the Hill with Will. Isn't that amazing? All right, so before you run off, you're welcome, Beatles. We'll play the rest of the day for you. Let's see. Hey, the Red Sox lose a doubleheader. How about that? You get to watch me read it, though. Doubleheader in Baltimore. Our Orioles took the first one 5-4. Scott McGregor gets the win. Dennis Eckersley takes the loss. Not how the Red Sox want to start their season. We'll see them next week, by the way. Dwight Evans, 2-for-4 with a homer and 2 RBI. Texas shuts out Cleveland, 7-0. Charlie Huff with a win. Danny Darwin gets a save. Rick Waits takes a loss. Cincinnati goes to 2-2. They shut out San Francisco 7-0. Mario Soto gets the win his first. Again, Paul Householder, 2-for-3 with a triple and 2 stolen bases. Wow. Toronto gets on the win column in 1982. They beat Milwaukee 5-4. Dave Stieb 1-0. Mike Caldwell 0-1. Ben Ogilvy 2-for-4 with the second home run of the year. Don't need to tell you about the game. You just watched the Cubs go to 4-0. Now, isn't that amazing? Because the Cubs are one of those 4 National League teams that has absolutely no right to be contending for anything except for Lee Elias Hart. They've won 5-3 over the... Oh, they played the Mets. Okay, that's why. Doug Bird with a win his first. Pat Zachary takes a loss his first. Dave Kingman had a 3-home run day. He now has 5 on the year. Don't you love April stats? Twins lose to the Angels 4-1. Bruce Keeson gets the win. Jackson takes the loss. In the second game of that Red Sox doubleheader, Denny Martinez goes to 1-1 as the Orioles pound the Red Sox 8-2. Bobby Ojeda takes a loss. Cal Ripken 2-for-3, his second home run of the year and 3 RBI. In Philadelphia, Montreal goes to 2-0. They beat the Phillies 5-3. Gullickson with the win, Ruthven with the loss, Mike Schmidt with his first homer of the year. In Atlanta, no 13-0. Houston beats them 9-2. The Braves are now 2-2. Steve DeBrosian takes a loss. Vern Rule gets the win. Terry Poole 4-for-5 with a home run and 2 RBIs. Kansas City beat Detroit 5-2. Dennis Leonard goes to 2-0. Dan Petrie goes to 0-1. Amos Otis 2-for-4, his first home run of the year. And the Padres pound Fernando Valenzuela in his first start of the year 6-1. Terry Kennedy with the home run. He went 2-for-4. And Eichelberger with his first win. All right, doubleheader for you on Friday on this channel. That's our next scheduled baseball game, but everything's kind of subject to change because, as you can hear, my voice is starting to go. But if all goes well tomorrow, the road to Miami, I wish I had a graphic for that. The road to Miami continues with the AFC Championship game presented by HockeyTournaments.com. The Steelers and the Patriots tomorrow night at 7. And on Thursday night, the NFC Championship game between the Rams and the Cowboys from Dallas. 77 of you watched this baseball game yesterday, and I'm so thankful for all that. Thanks for all you guys do for this channel. Hit that like and subscribe if you will. I'm Ron Juckett. So it's football the next 2 nights if I could yap. And until then, we'll talk to you the next time.